Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Dan, and today I'm going to be reviewing Pixar's Onward. So Onward tells the story of two brothers played by Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, who basically, Tom Holland never knew his dad. Chris Pratt has like 3 memories of him. He died when they were really young, and they discover, because they live in a world of magic, that if they cast a certain spell, and they have to basically go to this place to find this jewel, that they can bring him back for a day and spend a day with their dad. So it's about them going on this quest to find this jewel, and it's kind of action adventure. It's got some kind of comedy in there, and yeah, it's all that kind of wrapped up into like a fantasy Pixar movie. So obviously, this being Pixar, the animation looks like really good. In particular, the backgrounds look photorealistic, and that actually brings me on to like something I've thought about for a while at this point is like, now that animation can look photorealistic, does that ruin the whole point of animation in the first place? Like, if you can make an animation movie look live action, what's the point? Like, shouldn't it still look animated? You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing what they're able to achieve, don't get me wrong, but it kind of makes you think, like, well, if they can do these literally photorealistic backgrounds, it just feels like I'm watching a live-action movie, and it kind of takes away from that Pixar magic. The voice acting is really good as well. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are both really good, as are Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Octavia Spencer. I'd say probably the best of the bunch is Chris Pratt. He's kind of the scene stealer, I guess. He's just got like that energy and that enthusiasm. The brotherly dynamic as well, I enjoyed. I don't personally have any brothers, so I didn't feel like I could like relate necessarily, and a lot of the movie does kind of rely on that relationship, and I thought the relationship worked really well. Younger brother, older brother, they both have, they annoy each other, but they love each other at the same time, and it goes deeper than that, but I don't want to get into spoilers. But it's a big part of the movie is the fact that they're brothers and a brotherly bond. And off the top of my head, I can't actually think of a Pixar film that's been about brothers yet. So yeah, maybe that's the first for Pixar. So that's interesting. The action scenes were fun as well. There was a couple of like car chase scenes and stuff like that were kind of like well shot and exciting to watch, and all that kind of stuff and fun. But for me, what I thought was really interesting was the challenges that they have to overcome to get to this stone are kind of embodiments of their flaws. So like, just as an example, there's a part where Tom Holland has trouble trusting his brother and trusting himself, to be honest. He just doesn't have that confidence, And there's a scene where he has to walk across, I think it's called like a bottomless pit, basically. The only way he will survive is if he truly believes in himself and in his brother. Because, like, basically they cast a spell and it's an invisible bridge, but it's only there if you believe it's there. So that makes Tom Holland have to kind of give himself this self-confidence that he doesn't usually have. And so I just thought it was like an interesting manifestation of the character's flaws and insecurities that they then had to physically overcome to get to where they go. And I thought that was a really nice touch and some good writing. And yeah, I just enjoyed that. This is something that it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I guess really it's mixed for me. The biggest kind of takeaway that most people will have from this movie is the ending, and specifically the fact that it subverts your expectations. Now, I, generally speaking, am a fan of having my expectations subverted, because I think it's it's just more entertaining, isn't it? Like, if you watch a film and you know exactly what's going to happen, and it's almost boring. But if you can be genuinely surprised and be like, oh, I didn't see that coming, that's just more interesting. So generally, I'm for that, and I like when a film does that. But in this film, there's a pretty big, like the biggest part of the whole movie relies on a subversion of expectations. The climax of this movie is a subversion of your expectations, which is either going to completely make or break the movie for you. And I've got to say, so I watched this on Thursday night. I'm filming this on Tuesday. I thought when I watched it, like, I just felt dissatisfied because they take something away from you that you think you're going to get and they give you something else instead. And I completely get it. Like, I know what they were going for, and I get why they were going for it. But it doesn't change the fact that the thing that we thought we were going to get. I really wanted that thing, and then I didn't get it, so I felt kind of dissatisfied. So I had a fun time throughout the movie. Didn't love it. It's not top tier Pixar, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. And then the ending happened, and I was like, oh man, like that's really annoying because I thought I was going to get something and I didn't get it, and I felt dissatisfied emotionally. And I know that the thing that they give you instead is good, and I like the idea behind it, but the execution for me, it felt like they were robbing me of this moment that I'd been waiting for the whole movie. But that said, most reviews that I've watched or read, and most people I know that have seen it, like I went to see it with my girlfriend, she loved the ending, she loved the kind of subversion of expectations, and everyone else seems to love it too because it stops the movie feeling too generic. So I know I'm in the minority on that one, and I have to say, since I've seen it, the more I've thought about it, the more I've liked it, the more I'm coming around to the idea. So I don't hate it, I don't hate the ending or anything like that. It was a good ending, and I love the ambition, and I love what they were going for and how kind of deep and personal it is. And I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple of scenes that kind of got me choked up. In only Pixar can seemingly do that for me. I barely ever cry at films except when it's Pixar for some reason. So they do that really well. It's a good film. It's a fun adventure. It's got good voice acting. It's well animated. Good collection of side characters as well. But that ending, the fact that it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go, in the words of Luke Skywalker, it's either going to make or break the film for you. I've got to say, for me personally, it didn't work. But as I say, as time's gone on, and it's only been a few days so far, I'm already coming around to the idea and starting to like it. I think if I were to rewatch the film, which I will do at some point, this is not a film that I plan to never watch again. I think if I watch this again, it will play a lot better now that I know what to expect. There are a couple of funny moments, there are some action scenes that are good, and it's just a fun time all around. It's a nice family movie. Like I say, it's not up there with Pixar's best, and I put this on my Letterboxd review as well, so sorry to repeat myself here, but I feel like it's time maybe that we just stopped comparing Pixar originals to the golden age of Pixar. Like 1995 to 2010, they were essentially flawless. Cars was the only weak link in that whole 15 years. Some might say A Bug's Life, but we can't really compare them to that anymore because if we look at the 10 years since then, they've been very inconsistent. Still good, like they still made good movies. You look at Inside Out, you look at Coco, you look at some of the sequels like Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4, they've been good. But I think it's time that we maybe stop comparing Pixar's original movies to the golden age. But with that said, if we do stop doing that, that's like admitting that their golden age is gone. And I know that it has, but I would give so much for it to not be. So if Pete Docter could just do us a solid and make Soul like the best Pixar movie in years, that would help us all out. I think we would all enjoy that. But yeah, so overall, guys, that's my review of Onward. I think it's a solid movie. I do recommend it. But like I say, I think a lot of your enjoyment's going to rest on the third act. So I don't know how you're going to feel about that. But the first two acts are perfectly solid, perfectly serviceable. They have fun moments, they have funny moments, they have action scene moments, they have heartfelt moments. And it's just kind of a new, interesting world. Now, to be honest, even though it's not the best Pixar movie, I would always rather see a Pixar original over a Pixar sequel. That's just how I am. I like their original movies. Yes, some of the sequels are brilliant. I mean, Toy Story 3 in particular, I think is one of the best Pixar movies out there. But in general, I just like to see Pixar returning to the original, returning to making original films, because for the last couple of years, they've brought out sequels. They brought out Incredibles 2, they brought out Toy Story 4, they brought out Finding Dory. I think maybe that was before Coco, but I think like 3 of the last 4 films before this were sequels, and now they're bringing out 2 originals this year with Onward and Soul. I'm really looking forward to Soul. There's a lot riding on that for me. Pete Docter so far has directed 3 movies, Monsters Inc., Up, and Inside Out. I think they are 3 very good movies, so I'm holding out hope that Soul will also be very good. So yeah, I do recommend this, but like I say, it's not top tier Pixar, so keep your expectations in check. Just while I've got you guys, I just wanted to say real quick, if you've enjoyed the content, make sure you drop a like on the video, or share it, or subscribe if you're not subscribed, or check out the other videos. Something I'd urge you to do as well is to hit the notification bell, which I know you have to hear everybody that you watch say that, and it's really annoying. I get annoyed myself when I hear people say it. But the fact is, it's beneficial for both of us, because it means more people watch my videos, and it means that you get notified as soon as I upload, which I assume you would want to know when I upload since you're subscribed to the channel. So hit the notification bell if you're watching this and you haven't done already. Like I say, like the video, and if you want to follow us on Twitter or on Letterboxd. I'll drop the links in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you soon for... I don't know what my next review is going to be, to be honest, because I've not got barely any money. But I think I might do a top 10 or top 5 or something like that, favourite directors working today video, something a little bit different. That's something we've talked about, and I'll put it on Twitter, and a few people seem to like the idea of that. So that might be the next one. So that could be something a little bit different. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.